Andy Burnham has made his first major policy announcement as Prime Minister, with VAT to be cut on energy bills from October the 1st, which could save households around £45 a year. Let's talk now and get the thoughts of Joshua Emden, who's a Senior Research Fellow at the Institute for Public Policy Research. Joshua, good to get your thoughts today. So £45 a year for most households. How great a difference do you think that will make to people?
Yeah, we think it's good news. It's a small amount, but in this situation where we know that energy bills are really at the kind of top of people's minds, they make a big difference to people's lives. Every little helps. It will help not only because it's reducing electricity bills, but also it provides an incentive for people to get heat pumps and electric vehicles, which already are cheaper to run than their oil and gas equivalents. But we hope that this is the start of more. We hope that this is the start of the government looking at policy costs, the payments that people are making on their bills for government policies. And we hope that moves into taxation. And also there's more we can do on accelerating the rollout of things like solar panels and electric vehicles and batteries, which we know help reduce people's bills by hundreds of pounds right now.
Because in terms of the actual finances, if you look at the energy price cap, it's pushing up towards £1,700. It's going to go up again, £84 in October, and again £91 in January. So the reduction of VAT means it's going up £100 instead of £150. So there's still going to be an increase for people on their energy bills, isn't there? It's just not going to be quite as painful as it would have been.
I think that's true. It's not quite as high as it otherwise would have been, and that's important. It is also important for that incentive for making electricity cheaper, which is really helpful once you move on to heat pumps instead of gas boilers, or electric vehicles instead of petrol and diesel cars. You're already starting to save money and also insulating yourself from higher gas bills in future. When we've seen gas, prices spike in twice in recent years, those that are on heat pumps, those that have solar panels, those that have electric vehicles are much more protected. And so having reduced electricity bills specifically is really helpful for creating that incentive to move on to them.
And in terms of that incentive for people to do that, it's difficult, isn't it, to persuade people to spend money, to save money?
It is, and I think that's one of the reasons why we're seeing, government has actually previously announced, and hopefully will kind of continue to push for things like grants to help people get heat pumps. Grants of up to £7,500, and actually up to £9,000 now for those that don't actually have gas boilers, that have different kinds of heating systems. And also potentially we're going to see some more kind of loan schemes for things like solar panels, because you're right, the upfront cost of these technologies are really high. Or higher compared to their oil and gas equivalents. But once you actually get onto those technologies, then you have a kind of cheaper life. It's the sort of policy that's worth doing, even if climate change never existed.
The problem is with all of these different things that you're suggesting, solar panels and heat pumps, etc. These are all things that, one, are going to take a while for people to install. It's only really householders who are going to do it. People who are in the rental sector aren't going to be able to spend money to alter their property, are they? And the benefits, which are lower electricity prices or energy prices overall, are great, but the benefits take a long time to kick in, don't they? It's going to be a while before you get your money back, and people have to really feel that they can do that. And not everybody, in fact, probably not most people in the country, feel they're in an economic position to be able to do that.
I mean, it really depends what you're talking about when you're talking about payback periods. For solar panels, if you get solar installed right now, and admittedly, we're probably more talking about households than flats, but the government's also looking at kind of plug-in solar as well, and other kind of options that flats can take on. But for solar panels on households, the payback is around 6 to 10 years, and that's without any grant at all. With grants for things like heat pumps that help bring the costs down to just slightly more expensive than a gas boiler, the payback is much quicker. And actually, if we start to get into a habit where we're helping people to replace their heat pump, to get a heat pump once they have an old boiler that needs replacing, rather than just telling people to do it straight away, then actually you're comparing the cost of a gas boiler versus the cost of a much, much cheaper heat pump with a government grant. So actually the costs and the payback is a lot smaller if you're talking about it when you're coming to the end of a gas boiler's life, for example, or your car needs replacing. That's the point at which we need to be incentivizing people to take up those technologies. And when that happens, the cost of those alternatives are actually much cheaper. The cost of electric vehicles overall is starting to actually get cheaper than your basic petrol and diesel car already.